Hamas has one goal in mind, which is annihilating the state of Israel.
Before listening to what Mosab Hassan Yousef has to say, let's understand his background. Mosab Hassan Yousef is the oldest son of founding Hamas leader Sheikh Hassan Yousef. Since he was a young boy, Mosab Hassan Yousef has had an insider's view of the terrorist group Hamas. The young Yousef assisted his father for years in his political activities while being groomed to later assume his legacy and power. Hamas is a violent movement. They can only express their frustration through terrorism and violence, said Yousef. After being captured and tortured by the Israeli intelligence service, he was recruited to be an informant for Israel for nearly a decade, operating at the highest levels of Hamas. Working for the intelligence service, I came to realize that our minds are very limited, and that we really need to see things through the heart sometimes, said Yousef. Now let's listen to what he has to say.
Hamas has one goal in mind, which is annihilating the state of Israel. Like the best, it's a compromise that they could do is having a truce for 15 years, a ceasefire for 15 years as maximum, but with no guarantee how they will act after. It's absurd. It's not a secret that Hamas wants to destroy the state of Israel. They cannot accept Israel or accept Israel's right to exist. I have many reasons. Since I was a child, I asked my father many questions about Hamas delusions, about their brutality, about their abuse of power. And always he justified, their position. Then I was imprisoned with Hamas. I spent about 27 months in Israeli prisons where Hamas was torturing their own members, our own people, within Israeli prisons. They killed actually and tortured hundreds of prisoners. And this is when I start asking myself the question, what if Hamas become the ruler at some point? What will they do to our people? And many years later, Hamas became the ruler of Gaza. And I wasn't surprised by their brutality. Look, as I told you, I'm not surprised by Hamas brutality, but I was surprised by the scale of their attack. Not to this degree, wiping out entire communities, messing with a nuclear power, the most powerful country in the region, a country with a great trauma from the past, with a memory of a Holocaust and all the Nazis did in the past century. They opened the gates of hell on the Palestinian people. This is how irresponsible this group people are. That they are willing to actually sacrifice many Palestinian children, the entire Palestinian people, and use them as a fuel to just achieve their ideological agendas, their religious agendas. They are careless. They don't care for the human life. We have to separate between what's so-called Palestinian cause and Hamas cause. Hamas cause is a sick one. It's coming from the pit of hell, and they need to be removed from power. This is my message as an ex-Hamas member, as a son of one of Hamas founders, that enough of this. If we don't stop them now, the next war is going to be deadlier. And only God knows what will happen next if Hamas is not finished as soon as possible.
Did we guys heard what he said? So those who are supporting Hamas, please understand this reality and act accordingly. To understand they are not freedom fighters. Please don't glorify their action. This is a request.